Doug and PA back with another video. So guys, it is September 12th of 2023. You know what happens next month in October? Student loan payments start back up. That's right. After 3 years, a little over 3 years, payments will begin. You're going to see a lot more stories like this. This story is called Women Hold 2/3 of American Student Loan Debt. You have Soledad O'Brien talking to another expert as to why the reasons why women take out more debt and the reasons why it takes them longer to pay it off. And you're going to hear all the typical buzzwords, the pay gap, and women have to be caregivers for children in their community, and all these excuses. So we're going to get into this news story in a second. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me, what I'm doing over here. And I'm just going to start with my opinion. I don't feel bad for these women at all. You see news stories, 120,000 more single women own homes than single men. Girl power. Yeah, well, let's see how many of them can hold on to those homes when they have to start paying their student loan debt back. I know women who, instead of paying off their debts during the pandemic or saving money, just adjusted their spending habits and started spending their money on other things. Got new cars, got a house, and just planned on never having to pay the student loans again. Let's get into this news story.
Americans owe more than $1.7 trillion in outstanding student loan debt. That's trillion with a T. So with the Supreme Court rejecting student loan debt forgiveness, millions are thinking about the impact on their personal finances. It's especially true for women, as women hold 2/3 of the country's total student loan debt. The American Association of University Women, or AAUW, dug in.
American Association for University Women. That's a thing? All these organizations, man. All right. And it's probably, I wonder how much money they get to support programs for women that men don't have access to. I wonder.
Into this. Gloria Blackwell is CEO of the AAUW, and she joins me now. So nice to talk to you. Let's jump right into it. Is it just simply because of the math of who's going to college today? More women are going, ergo, you're just going to have more women holding debt? Or is it more complicated than that?
Yes, that's literally it. More women are going to college to get BS degrees and in things that don't matter. And not only that, but they're taking out more than they need. If you've never been to college before, guys, they give you tuition, and then you can take out more money. They give you the amount of tuition, and they give you the option as to how much you can take out. You can take out a lot more than your tuition because it can be counted as living expenses. And a lot of women will want to maintain a certain kind of lifestyle while they're going to school. Oh yeah, I'm gonna I'm an undergrad student and I don't have a job, but I'm gonna take a trip to Italy during the summer and use my student loan money to pay for it. Or you know what? I should have a nice car in college, so I'm gonna use my student loan extra money to pay my car payments, or to buy a handbag, or to live in a apartment I can't afford off my part-time job. That's why women are in so much more debt.
It's a bit more complicated than that. Obviously, it's because women are attending college at higher numbers, but it's also because women are parenting while going to college. Women are, unfortunately, because of those and other responsibilities, taking a bit longer to conclude their degrees. So taking longer means you are taking on more debt, and that's really an important fact.
So let me speak on that too. You have a lot of single mothers going to college. And once again, they're supplementing their lifestyles with their student loan money. And then too, like, I know women who will just pay the bare minimum it's all about lifestyle with these women, guys. pay the bare minimum, which doesn't even cover the interest on their loans, to be able to have their house or have their little condo in downtown or have their little luxury vehicle. Guys, we will live bare bones and double or triple the payments to pay off our debt. Women will never do that, guys.
The other piece around why women hold so much of student loan debt is because of the gender pay gap.
There it is. You knew it was coming, guys. You knew it. The gender pay gap. How many times has that been debunked? Only 9.5% of STEM students are women. That's science, technology, engineering, and math. All the rest of them are getting degrees in marketing, sociology, criminology, education, stuff that won't pay you a lot of money. It just won't. There is no pay gap, guys. If you factor in all the different reasons why men make more than women, but we knew it was coming.
Once they get their college degrees, they end up having to take a longer period to pay it off due to the gender pay gap.
What does the data that you look at tell you about what women are doing in the face of this debt?
Women are certainly trying to focus more on those higher paying occupations. But what has happened is that the way in which the workplace culture, not to mention the higher education culture, and getting women to really stay in those degree granting programs has been an uphill battle.
Once again, a lot of issues when it comes to the development of programs are people utilizing them in the first place. Okay. So she's literally saying that a lot of these programs that organizations like hers have created to develop women leaders, women aren't taking them. Because here's the thing, guys. Why I'm a man, and I don't know why you'd want to be a CEO of a major company, working 100 hours a week, flying around everywhere. Okay, you make 20, 30, $40 million a year. But what kind of life do you have? I'm not the one. And a lot of women, they say, I think it's cool when they're 10, 15, 20 years old to say, I'm going to be a boss and a CEO. Then they get to 25, 30, and you're like, nah, I don't want none of this. No, no, thanks.
But what also has happened is that women are seeking more degrees, in part because women need to have greater qualifications to try to come close to the level of leadership or managerial responsibilities, or to even pursue the same level of salary and jobs as men.
I did a story on my channel that said that per every one C-suite um, uh, male CEO, COO, CFO that that quit their job, 2 women quit. 2. So women will fight to get up to the C-suite, but they won't stay. I'll put a link to that video in the description or the first pinned comment so you guys can watch it. But women do not stay in C-suite positions because of the stress. I think it was a live stream I did, but I'll find it and I'll link it in the description.
What are the long range implications of this debt, sort of really weighing down one segment of the country?
The long term implications are quite devastating, particularly for women, and even more so for women of color, because Black women and Latinas do bear that disproportionate burden. And so, what it means for women is that they, throughout their careers, they are looking at a time when they are unable to put money aside for retirement, to buy a home, to start a business, often just to meet basic expenses. They are, unable to create a secure economic life for themselves and for their families.
No mention of a man at all. No mention. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Guys, ladies, most women besides Black women, number one, and then white women, number two, get married in college. They find a significant other. They find a man so they can double up on this stuff. And ladies, if you're married to a man or if you're with a guy, he will minimize your spending. Men, we are cost benefit calculators. If a lot of these women had a man in their life, they wouldn't take out all this debt.
What's the right response to young women who are trying to do it the right way?
Women need to continue to step up and advocate for student debt cancellation, for college affordability, for ensuring that the gender pay gap is fixed, because these are so many ways that it makes it so much more difficult to pay off student loan debt.
Gloria Blackwell.
So women are supposed to push for socialism, pay off my debt. I made this dumb mistake of getting $150,000 in debt for a social work degree, but government, big daddy government, come save me. This is modern women, guys. This is modern women.
Is the CEO of the AAUW. Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So once again, we heard all the buzzwords, the pay gap, women have to care for others, women can't provide for their families with all this debt. It's the same old stuff, guys. You're going to see a lot more of this when student loan debts start back up. And I'm saying it here right now. The beginning of 2024, you're going to start seeing a lot of women's getting foreclosed on their houses, student loan debts going into default, losing their cars, all that type of stuff. And I'm going to cover all of it. Okay. Men, we're just not having it. A lot of us aren't going to college anymore. It's not worth it. We're trying to stay away from debt. And I would argue a guy working as a manager at Lowe's or on a construction crew who may be only making $50,000 a year but has no debt is worth more than a female lawyer who makes $120,000 a year but has $200,000 in debt. Guys, stay away from debt of all kinds. Credit card debt, excessive car loan debt, student loan debt. Stay away from it. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.